Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. A week or two ago, I talked to you about a conversation I had with my buddy Rust Eddy. And Rust has been every day traveling up to Titus Mountain to pretty much run the ski program up there, and especially the program for kids. One of the things that Rust told me is what keeps him going, what keeps him stable, because we're all affected by ups and downs, and we all have those bad thoughts and things in our life that make it hard for us. Well, fishing has always been a soul returner for him. It's a huge part of his life, and he thinks about it every day. But one of the things he told me in his daily drive up to Titus from Canton, where he lives, is seeing the things around him that spur him on. He said one of the things that has given him great joy is seeing snowbirds. Now, I've never talked about snowbirds, and a lot of you may have seen them and maybe not, because there's been years where they haven't seemed to be here. But they come here in the winter. They are part of a migrational species of animals and birds that are in the most northern of all these migration routes. In other words, our area around us is the southern tip of where they come in the winter. It's a very most southern region. And what makes this so interesting is that these birds, you can see them. If you're driving along, a lot of times you'll see a flock of them just along the edge of the road. Well, why are they there? They're probably trying to get salt or sand from the sand trucks that's there that helps them to be able to digest foods, because they have a gullet like all birds. And instead of chewing stuff with their teeth, the gullet tends to grind the stuff up. Whatever that stuff is that they eat, it's going down into their stomach. So here's why I think this is so critical. I believe that fishing is one of the greatest of all outdoor experiences, and it's not because of what you feel when you feel a fish fighting on the other end of the line. It's because it gives a person an opportunity to experience all the different other parts of being in the outdoors that they might not be able to do on many different times. For example, there's a lot of people that love bird watching. Well, there I'm talking about Rust in his drive and seeing those birds. If you go fishing, and I've said this so many times, you can experience all the different wonders of the outside world because it's all taking place around you. You can hear it, you can see it, sometimes you can smell it, different currents in the air. It's part of what our life experience, I think, was meant to be hundreds of years ago. And we're in such a different time now, where life is more concentrated for most people at the end of a computer screen or at the end of a cell phone. And this is why I feel it's so critical. The one thing we can do is to try to introduce kids to the outside. One of the best ways to introduce them to the outside is to take them fishing and then let them decide what they enjoy the most. But what it does is it opens the world around them, to their psyche, to their very experience of living. And a lot of times, not given that chance, it'll change the way they grow up, the way they feel. And so at another point, I talked about the importance of having your local community, the residents that live in an area, be behind certain things that you want to do. And for us to develop and sustain and be part of a outdoor tourism program, because we feel it's the one thing that we have. If the residents don't know what we have, if they're not taking in all the wonders of the outside around them, then they're never going to be behind something that you need their support if you're going to be successful. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.